Honestly, this was a very chaotic week, and I almost gave up on budgeting. Well, not really, but I almost didn't record this. So, this is our last week of transactions. Y'all, welcome to the chaos. And hi, I'm Bo.
Now I'm Win.
And we are paying off six hundred and
So
twenty
much.
$625,000 worth of debt and finding financial stability for us and Wynn's 3 kids.
And also our enormous debt. That needs financial stability. Everything needs financial stability.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's get right into the transactions. So, we're starting off strong on the 29th with Snacky Snacks for $2.
It's just a little snacky snack. It's so good.
And I brought into the budget cash back of $125 from my credit card. And Wynn paid the heating bill, which is actually 2 heating bills, for $208. And then more Snacky Snacks for $14, more dining. And then I stuffed $138 in variables for groceries and bulk shopping. And then on the 31st is where the chaos begins. So we took $720 out of Wynn's kid camp fund, which we are eventually going to have to replace because at some point they might go back to
yeah.
camp.
Probably this next one. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull that off, but they didn't go this last time, so.
Correct. But we took $720 from the kid camp fund to his emergency fund, and then added $13.29 of the potential rollover to his emergency fund. And then we used $172 of the kids' clothing fund to buy clothes for the kids. And Wynn got a ride share for $30.
I didn't get a ride share on that day, but that's when it came through.
Yes, because we are only putting down cleared transactions. We put things down as they clear. And then on the 1st, the real chaos, YouTube for $26, that's normal, YouTube Premium Family. And then we took $3,090 out of his emergency fund. $2,481 of that was actually split between the 1st and the 2nd, but I just put it on the 1st because, y'all, this was between these 2 days, it was 15 transactions. It was absolutely ridiculous. And this was for installing a drain outside the front door of the basement unit of our building so that the basement unit won't flood anymore. We installed a drain to connect the bottom of the stairs to the sewer line. So yeah, that lot of monies is actually more than this total, but some of that went on a credit card.
Because chaos.
Yes. So between these 2 days, $2,481 from his emergency fund, and then he paid kids insurance for $103, and then I paid $20 for Netflix. And then on the 2nd, Wynn canceled a rideshare but got a cancellation fee for $7. And then
That's how much chaos there was.
yes. And then he got snacks for himself and the kids for $21. And he paid kids copay for $104, and this was for allergy testing for one of the kids. And then I paid $2 for the Fabulous app.
It really is fabulous.
It is.
Y'all should check it out.
And then on the 3rd, Wynn paid another $609 out of his emergency fund.
That's not how I was supposed to do that.
Correct. So all of this was supposed to be on the credit card, but Wynn decided to use his debit card instead. So, yeah, it was supposed to be additional debt. It was supposed to go on debt, but instead he drained his checking account. So now his checking account is pretty empty. It was very chaotic. and we're going to have to transfer money from savings into checking because we didn't know that this was
empty.
Yes, we didn't know all of this was going to happen in advance, so we didn't transfer the money first. It's a long story and one that I really don't want to get into. And then on the 4th, I paid an extra $105 from debt. Mostly that was from the cashback. And then I saved $15 for Christmas, $28 for registration and license, $156 for subscriptions, and $202 for house maintenance. Now, I realized after saving this money for subscriptions that I did not add in the cost of the YNAB budget, which is short for You Need a Budget. That is $110 a year, if I'm not mistaken. So
that is small beans considering how much we save.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I do really like the app. It has a bit of a learning curve, but it is $110 a year. I decided that I was going to lower my personal money by $10 a pay period in order to pay for this additional subscription. Yes, that is more than what's necessary to cover that, but we've been adding a lot of subscriptions lately and I kind of want to overcompensate. So it's all good.
I do want to point out before this is over how fastidious she is in the wake of all this chaos to be sticking to her guns on these small savings buckets. Folks, the answer to chaos is not to overcompensate wildly in the other direction. It's to stay the course until things can find equilibrium. I know it's not going to feel like that. It's not going to feel like that in the moment, but you got to take a longer view of things. When things go where they are intended, it tends to self-regulate given enough time. Granted that I know it's not going to work in every single situation, but you can't panic. It doesn't help.
Correct.
It doesn't ever help.
Correct. Now, I did think about pausing savings to pay extra on the debt so I wouldn't be rolling over so much debt into a next month and gaining interest. But with some things like having subscriptions that, are increasing now, I didn't want to risk running out of money in those categories and having the same problem all over again. So house maintenance currently is negative. There's negative money in that category. So that needs to catch up. And also I don't want to fall behind in the other categories. So we're saving anyway. But yeah, added, I just put it down here in orange. We added $4,695 in debt this week.
Like one does when you're trying to catch up on debt.
Yep. It's not great. We might go into how this happened at some point.
That would be a good video.
Yes. Part of it is for the drain install, but part of it is for something else. And we might discuss it once that something else is said and done, but now is not the time, literally, for legal purposes. So, onward to variable envelopes. The revolving envelopes here, which is really just me not wanting to have 5 billion categories. So these are subcategories of the envelopes. Groceries started with nothing. Added 93, spent 93, there's nothing. Bulk buys started with nothing. Added 45, spent 43, so there's $2. Woo! Transport started with 189, spent 36, so there's 153. I did get a ride share, and I put it under this category because I still wanted to be able to save. And we haven't been spending much. Well, not much.
Relatively speaking.
Relatively speaking, we don't have a lot to pay for as far as transportation goes. I have a paid off car, and we both use public transit more than we use my car. So there.
I don't use it at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you ride in it,
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah. So this should have been under personal, but I didn't have enough in personal, so I fudged it and did transport, but this is not going to drain anytime soon.
Also, you're not her real dad, so.
That's true. And it is technically transport. And then health started with 187, spent 44, so there's 143. Home shopping stayed at 52. Birthday stayed at 33. Clothing stayed at 138. Shoes stayed at 279. Pet care stayed at 125. Is it almost time to make cat food again?
No, we've got at least 10, maybe 12 containers left.
Okay.
Like, we're sitting pretty.
Okay.
Not forever, but we're good.
Okay. So we should be able to build that up to where it'll pay for the whole food. We make our cat's food in bulk, so
He's not like other girls.
oh my goodness. So I want to have a good amount in order to pay for all the meat. Personal started with 27, spent 10. I did get headphones. I had previously bought a different set of like earbuds, but they weren't charging reliably. So I just went and got the same old earbuds that I used to have, which are super cheap, not fancy by any means. But
You get the job done.
they get the job done, and it's $10. The last pair shorted out. Wynn's last pair got smashed in a
Died
car door.
horribly.
Yeah. So, like, expensive headphones would not have saved him because he smashed them in the car door by accident. But yeah, there's $17 left in personal. And then for Alphabet, we're staying at $336 because the boys have not been putting money in their savings accounts. And that's what that money's for.
I really am like a final destination for electronics.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You do have a chaos aura.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. Now, let us see what this means for the budget, which honestly looks less chaotic than I thought it would.
It's just the columns.
It does keep things neat. Okay, so for our final numbers, his paycheck $18.31 as budgeted. My paycheck $15.58 as budgeted. Other income $184, better than budgeted. We love that. From savings $12,964.
That's a
Y'all,
lot.
net worth who?
What?
Exactly.
Can I eat it?
And then rollover, we started with $2,743. So that is a total of $19,280 that we're working with. That's a lot. Y'all, our net worth is struggling. Okay, now on to his spending, which is Wynn's checking account.
I do enjoy when I don't have to see mortgage. Let's see, kid bills budgeted 183, wound up paying 207. Heating bill budgeted 208. That's what it came out to. Adventures 50 budgeted, 50 spent. Spent or paid? What am I mixed up?
I mean, spending and paying is the same, essentially.
Yeah. The point is, Adventures was exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Miscellaneous, not so much. 20 budgeted, wound up being 79.
Wynn has these great ideas. He had this great idea that he was going to catch the boys back up on their allowance, so he was going to give them more money than himself, and then he spent what he normally would give himself plus what he'd normally give them. So, yeah.
Not great.
Correct. His rollover, 328, as opposed to the
Budgeted 4,166.
Yep.
Not good.
Yep. So that's a subtotal of 872 for his spending.
Which leaves 18,408.
Yep. And then we get to the chaos of his savings account.
Oh boy. Okay. So, a lot has happened. Kids. Oh my God. This is like looking at a optical illusion. Kids' final savings was negative 720 because I took some out of an account. Emergency fund got 1,329, which it shouldn't have had to. Summer pay negative $6,609. That's a very large amount for a very specific reason, and which leads us to wedding. Wedding got 9,702 out of the budgeted nothing. It was supposed to be fine. It was supposed to be done. The wedding was saved for, paid for, and then we went to Renaissance Fair, and we found some things that we just couldn't quite do without, and spent a lot of money. But I thought we weren't going to say. All right, so when it all balances out, the subtotal was $3,702, which still leaves $14,706.
Now we go to my spending, which is my checking account. Final numbers for dining out, or snacky snacks as I like to call it, $41.
That could have been worse.
It has been worse, frequently. YouTube, $26 is budgeted. Netflix, $20 is budgeted. Fabulous, $2 is budgeted. We love to see that. HD card, Home Depot card, which is how we financed our appliances, $46 as opposed to the $47 budgeted. They just lowered my minimum payment. And I didn't feel like making an extra payment of $1. So sue me. You're not my real dad or my real mom. Security system, $57 as opposed to the $101 that's budgeted. I still don't know why that is cheaper, and I don't really want to ask. Car wash, $18 is budgeted. Extra debt got $255 as opposed to the $150 that was budgeted. It really only got extra because the credit card that I got the cash back from was also the credit card that I'm now carrying a balance on. So this is how this worked out. Because the timing was off with me getting the cash back versus charging extra things. And then variable envelopes came up to $576 as opposed to the $565 budgeted. We're okay with that. And that subtotal is $1,041, which is not too much more, leaving us with $13,665. And now we go to my saving, which is my savings account. For Christmas, I saved $29 as opposed to the $60 that was budgeted. That's really just because I pick random cards. House maintenance, $202 as opposed to the $128 budgeted. We like that because house maintenance is currently negative and it needs more money. Registration and license got the $56 that was budgeted. Subscriptions got the $414 that was budgeted. So that is a subtotal of $701, which we love to see, leaving us with $12,964.
Is that all?
Which is how much of our savings we drained. So wedding got $9,702. His emergency fund was $3,090, and then kid clothes was $172, bringing us to a subtotal of $12,964, which is what was left. So that is a zero-based budget.
Every dollar has a job.
Yes,
Even if it doesn't like doing that job.
Correct, and our bank accounts are not at zero, even though they're close. Yeah.
Ow, that one hurt.
Dude, right now,
It's
you
bad.
know how much money you have in your checking account, right?
Like double digits.
No, you have a whole $150.
Hey, look at us go. That's bad.
It's not great.
That's bad.
It's not how we make friends, in fact. We're going to have to transfer some money from your savings so that you don't accidentally overdraw. So, yeah, we are
We are the poor.
Not the poor. We're not the poor, but we are struggling a little bit. When I don't know if you noticed, but I actually did see that you got your first check. Guess how much it's for?
Double digits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And his second check is not going to be much better
Okay.
because he's missed some work days because chaos has happened. Again, we might let y'all know what this particular chaos is once all things are said and done, but it is a legal issue which we
don't play with.
we're not going to talk about it here because we don't know who's watching. And I know most of you are lovely people. However, there are people who are actually in our personal lives who know about this channel, so we are just gonna
Yeah.
we're not gonna get into that. So this is a very chaotic closeout. Technically, we spent more than we made, even though everything went down to zero. We spent way more than we made. So we spent this $12,964. We spent that plus an additional $4,695 of debt. And that's above what like we actually brought in. So
Yikes.
yep.
Oh, next month's net worth is going to be abysmal.
Yep.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, next month's gonna be bad. And
The one after that should be good though.
And I don't even know how we're gonna budget next month because you haven't gotten a full paycheck yet. And yeah, so we're gonna be doing paycheck budgets, and it's
not good.
your emergency fund is probably gonna drain like to zero. Yay! Stay tuned for next week.
It is situations like this that make things like an emergency fund so vitally important, because even a couple thousand in a situation where you have to be able to keep operating can be absolute make or break. And that's why budget beats broke now and hopefully in the future, every time.
Yeah. And never forget that you too deserve financial stability. And I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.